Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ellie. On this channel, I cover topics all about personal growth, balance, healthy habits, healthy routines, lifestyle, and so many other topics. So if that appeals to you, make sure to subscribe. In this video, I want to talk about a quick reset routine that will get you out of a funk, that will get you out of that slump that maybe you're in. Perhaps you've just been so busy with things that aren't usually part of your schedule, or maybe you just came back from a trip, or maybe you just had family visiting you. Whatever the case may be, I know that it's really hard to come back into the mindset of going back to your routines. I know I'm currently experiencing that. I had family that was visiting me for a month. I got married. I went on my honeymoon, and so many things have just been happening. And although they've all been amazing and exciting, and just I am beyond the moon to have experienced everything that I have experienced for the last month. At the same time, everything ends, and we do have to come back to balance and routines and structure. So I do want to share in this video some of the things that help me just come back to center and go into my routines without feeling too much friction and without treating it like a daunting activity. So the first thing that I like to do when I want to reset and just come back to my routines is that I actually clean up my home. So I go all out with this. I clean everything: the living area, the dining area, the kitchen, room, office. I do laundry, I wash the restrooms, I clean up the patio, I take out the trash. I just really make sure that I tidy up my space, that everything feels refreshed and clean and just ready to take on the new activities that I'm going to be engaging in, which is productivity, balance, routines. So it usually starts with my home. And the reason that I like to start with a cleaning routine is for many reasons, but one of the things is that it builds momentum. Usually when I'm feeling lazy or unmotivated, it's really hard to get out of that, right? So I've noticed that when I start doing smaller tasks around the house, it just sort of builds up this momentum that I'm creating so that it starts leaking into other aspects of my life. In addition to building momentum, it's just a good idea to have a clean environment because it's going to be more welcoming and it's going to be more of a conducive space for the things that you have to take care of. Also, I am a believer that my home is sacred and I have to respect it and take care of it. Therefore, keeping it clean just helps me treat my home with respect, as well as establish that order at that level. So once I clean up my space, it's smelling good, everything's clean, the laundry's folded, the restrooms are sparkly clean. The next thing I like to do is make sure there is food cooked at home. So whether you cook day to day or you meal prep, this is when you would now start doing any cooking activities. So usually this category is not just me cooking, it's also going to the grocery store and making sure that I am replenished, that I have everything that I need in order to have a streamlined rest of the week with the snacks that I need, the breakfast foods that I need, lunch and dinner foods that I need, so that I just don't need to do that during the week. I don't have to invest energy into that later, and I can just focus on work or whatever professional or creative activity I want to take care of for the upcoming week. So this just makes sure that you are not low on energy, because if you're not feeding your body with the appropriate food, you're not going to be able to take care of the other stuff that you have to take care of, right? So we make sure that we start with the home, clean the home, and then go into, okay, let's make sure our bodies are nourished and that we have all the fuel, everything we need for this next week, so that we don't have to think about that anymore. We can just focus on our tasks, on our goals, on whatever it is that we have to take care of. So the next thing that I like to do is that I like to take inventory of all of my to-dos. So chances are that if I'm in a slump, I'm probably overwhelmed by something, or I've neglected a couple of things because I've just been unmotivated or too busy to take care of everything. So usually what I like to do is I just like to make sure to go through my planner, any whiteboards that I have in the house, anywhere that I keep my notes, any calendars. I just like to make sure to take inventory of everything that it is I have to do, whether that entails paying bills, calling friends that I haven't, caught up with, family members, upcoming meetings, things that I have deadlines for, just whatever it is that is important and has been sort of in the back of my mind, but I haven't taken care of. I just make sure to jot down everything in the same space, whether that's on my iPad, on my Google Calendar, on my planner, whatever the system is. Make sure that this is a system that works for you. Maybe it's Post-its, who knows? Different people have different ways of compiling information. What's important here is that you just take a mindful inventory of everything that you have to do. We can start breaking that down by first becoming aware of exactly what it is that we have to take care of. And then that will allow us to deconstruct it and to start tackling it one task at a time. So after I take inventory of everything that I have to get done, the next thing that I like to do is to use my planner or calendar to structure my incoming week. So if we took inventory, we just have everything floating. Now we're going to start taking one task at a time and start giving it a deadline. So for example, I will jot down like maybe the 3 things that I have to take care of by the next day, whether that's Monday or Tuesday or whatever day of the week you decide to take care of that, or maybe it's something that is due at the end of the month. Whatever it is, I like to start assigning that task to a certain day in a certain time. So this allows us to, again, continue deconstructing that monstrous task cloud that we've created, to slowly start assigning and allocating those tasks, and therefore not tackling it all at once, but rather taking it day by day based on the priority that these items take, as well as any deadlines. So the last thing that I like to do is something fun, and this is a reward. So I am a big proponent of rewarding yourself when you do something that was even slightly of a burden or that required energy that you didn't have in the moment, but you really had to overcome the mental wall, right, in order to get things done. So I like to have that positive reinforcement and reward myself. Your reward can look different based on what it is that you enjoy or like. So for example, a reward can be a date with yourself, a date with a friend, a date with a loved one. You can maybe go for a movie, go get ice cream, go get boba. That's my personal favorite reward. And keep in mind why you're rewarding yourself. You're rewarding yourself because you have laid out the land in your house. You've set the structure, the order that needs to be in place in order for you to execute on a successful incoming week. So in a sense, you're rewarding yourself, but you're also like mentally preparing yourself for the incoming week and the tasks that you have to take care of. But you're no longer seeing it with that daunting mentality. You're seeing it as like, hey, I got myself this far. I'm celebrating. Now I'm ready. I'm prepared to take on the priorities of the next week, to take on the tasks for the next month, and I am well on my way to achieve the goals that I have set out for myself. I really hope this video was useful. I know for me, like when I carry out this routine, it works every single time. A lot of times we feel sad because we're no longer on vacation, because we don't have the motivation to do something, but I definitely believe that those moments are inevitable. So we have to accept those moments and trust that we will get ourselves out of those moments, and we just have to implement the baby steps and train our minds to get out of that gradually rather than at once, because most of us kind of need that buildup of momentum. Some people, maybe they can just take action immediately, but I know for me that's not always the case. That can be the case in certain situations, but there are definitely other times where I need to go through these series of steps in order to get my mindset right, and therefore is why I recommend this 5-step reset routine in case you just need to get back into your routines and your order, your structure, and finding that balance. If you liked this video, go ahead and like the video. Make sure that you are subscribed to my channel. Go interact with my other content while you wait for me to post a new video. Thank you so much for being here. Bye.